I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away.
Hey guys, Ash here, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I am not alone today. I am absolutely thrilled. It's criminal, it's ridiculous, it's just insane that in 6 years, 5 years, however long I've been uploading, I have not done a collab with Jgigs. Jgigs, welcome to the channel, man. I'm so happy to have you on. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me. I agree. This is long overdue. And I mean, I guess I should say the same. I never reached out either, so.
It's so cool though. I've always watched your content, but I don't know why. I've just never been like, well, partially it's a little bit like time zone thing, but also it's just like, there's a bunch of creators that I haven't collabed with, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, being famous is cool and stuff, but it's also like sometimes it's like, ugh, I just can't. Like, I don't know.
And like, it's just like, I need to be a bit better at instigating these conversations, but we're going to have a lot of fun today because we're going to catch up on a little bit of your raid story. You are, to my knowledge, well, I think Darth did back in the day too. Didn't Darth quit or was he kicked? But you're the only creator that quit the creator program that I know of for a fact.
Yeah.
Did Darth quit or was he kicked? I forgot.
I actually don't know. I actually don't remember.
Yeah, me neither, but maybe he can let us know. But either way, you quit the creator program and you still cover raid every day as well, which is certainly very notable, right? Like I wanted to kind of unpack that story a little bit, understand why you quit, a little bit about your raid journey, and also understand why you're still playing if you quit the community as well, which is very interesting to me. So let's start by kind of like setting the table a little bit here. First of all, you have, if you guys don't know Jgigs, check out his channel because you do free to play content, you do great content, but you also do, I don't know, you'll describe it better than I could, but skits and like, I guess it's memes, but not memes, but just comedy stuff, you know? Do you describe your channel, man? I'm not going to describe it. You describe it.
Just, I don't know, whatever interests me for the day. I try to do a lot of comedy skits and occasionally I'll do some music. And other than that, it's just kind of a chill, borderline podcasty free-to-play series where we just kind of play the game together. So it's a little bit of a few different things going on.
I like it, man. It's a nice blend. It's certainly a unique blend that you guys should definitely check out. So, you know, give us a little bit of a rundown. When did you start covering raid, man? What brought you to raid?
I started in Summoner's War. And I was trying to make content for that game, and then raid came out, and I think I saw a commercial on TV or something. It was some weird place that I saw it, and I was like, the graphics are unlike anything I've ever seen in a mobile game. And I'm going to have a good idea of it because all these games were just copying Summoner's War. So I was like, I might be able to get ahead of the curve and actually grow with this game. So I immediately got up and ran to my computer and started pumping out videos. And then, I don't know, one day I thought I'm going to put up a comedy skit and see how it goes. And it went pretty well. And I just kind of pivoted. I stopped trying to be the guide guy and pivoted more into doing the type of stuff that I wanted to do. Under the guise of like a raid content creator, I guess.
Well, it worked for you. Obviously, you got into the community program. You're kind of one of the OGs still remaining in this scene. It's been what, like 4 years or so? Is that accurate, or longer than that? You've been covering raid?
I've been maybe like 5 or 6 actually. It was pretty. The game was pretty new. I think it had been out a month maybe when I really jumped in and started covering it.
All right. You know what? You know how people remember their when they started playing is like, what fusion is the first fusion you remember in the game?
Oh man. The first one?
Am I that old?
Mine, I think, was like, or just a champion that was released around the time, maybe. Like I was like right after like Brackus the Shifter or whatever. Like that was the first thing that I remember going on, you know, that Halloween.
Who was before Foley? Because I remember the Foley fusion vividly.
Ooh, Foley's old. Foley's before my time. So you're talking, I don't know. Yeah, you're the OG. You are the OG. God, I don't think there's any creators who've been making content longer than you if you were before Foley. I mean, there's got to be. I'm sure there is, but you know, one of the OGs. What do you like? What do you like most about raid?
What do I like most about raid? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, right? This is not scripted, ladies and gentlemen.
Most about raid. I feel like saying the community is a cop-out at this point because it's not really part of the game. I do really enjoy the community.
Indeed.
Though. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely helped me stick around. Uh, maybe it's just so familiar at this point. I don't.
Yeah.
I've been playing it so long, and it's been part of my routine for so long that it just feels comfortable. Maybe.
Yeah. Do you play a lot?
I do.
Yeah.
I have. It's a roller coaster. Lately, I haven't been playing it as much because I took a 2-week break from content. I didn't log in much, so I'm getting back into the routine. But sometimes I play it almost all day, so it's a little up and down. I think there's a lot to do. I think they've been doing a pretty good job lately of doing interesting things. I think this Alice in Wonderland thing is really good. I think they've done a really good job.
Yeah.
They're keeping it interesting. So for all their shortcomings, one of the things they've done a pretty good job of is keeping the game interesting and fresh feeling. So
yeah, do you like out of the new content? What do you like and not like? So I'm talking like Siege, Chimera, Curse City, I guess.
I guess Curse City of those. I don't like Siege. I think Siege was such a lazy.
Siege could be so cool, I think, and that's the shame, right? It's like what it could be.
They phoned it in so aggressively.
It was just it feels like it's an alpha version, and they threw it out there, right? It's just like But hey, I mean, glass half full is they got a lot to work with. You know, they could build it into something. Time will tell. But so over Chimera, you go Curse City, huh?
Yeah, Chimera. It's just one of those things where it's like it's just too much to read right now. I'll eventually get into it, like I did Hydra.
I hear you.
I'm pretty into Hydra. It's just too much to read right now. I don't want to learn all of it.
Okay, I'm into Chimera a lot. I similar to you though. Hydra took me a while. Like I was kind of auto. You know, okay, once I can get my chest, I'm like not paying that much of attention to it. It took me a while to get into it. But Chimera, I've actually been really into even more than Curse City, but I don't mind Curse City too. All right, I got a million questions for you, but I want to get to the crux of the video, the title. And final question, I lied. Who is your first legendary and favorite champion?
First legendary was Fushan.
Okay. Good old school.
And favorite champion forever. So first it was Madame Ceres, then Lady Kimmy took her spot. Now it might be Volcanos.
Ooh, you lucky son of a jackal. You have Volcanos as a free-to-play? That's not right.
What are you saying?
You're not supposed to have a champion that I don't have.
Well, I have him on the main.
Okay.
I didn't get him on the free-to-play. I had him on the main.
Okay, all right. But still. Yeah, he's a beast, huh?
He's crazy. Yeah.
Fushan's a good first champion. Mine was Biggin. That was my first legendary.
I like him.
My first epic I remember too. I keep wanting to say Siege Hulk, but it's why am I drawing a blank? The counterattack dude.
Skull Crusher.
Skull Crusher. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go. That was my first epic. Because back in the day, epics used to mean something. Damn it. But anyway, so what led you to the creator program, and did you feel amazing when you first joined, and what led to the decay, I'm assuming, of that relationship or how you felt about everything?
So yeah, getting into the content creator program was at that point the coolest thing that had happened in my YouTube career. That was
you're like noticed.
I'm like, all right, I'm like officially doing this now. This is pretty cool. Enough for this big game to have noticed me and have me in the program. And then as far as what like led to me leaving it, my relationship with the people was always great. I had a really good relationship with Banana and everybody that I ever dealt with at Plarium. The individuals have always been fantastic.
Same here.
It's always been the entity that I have a problem with. And I think there was I don't remember exactly what was going on, but there was just a long run of really, really bad, shady, crappy stuff they were doing. And I wasn't really feeling it. And I don't think I was super feeling the game at the time. All of my rewards were going to my main account, which I wasn't playing. And I was like, I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not utilizing the test server. I'm not breaking news. And I just don't really want to be associated with them with the way that I feel about what they do in that way. I don't want to be partnered with them when I have so many problems on such a deep level with what they're doing. So I just messaged Banana one day and I was like, hey, I think I just said, hey, can you kick me out of the program? And we chatted about it for a little bit. And it was very nice. She sent me some parting gifts on the main account. Like it was just like one more week of the rewards, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So it was very civil and nice. And I have no ill feelings toward anybody. I just kind of felt like for the message I was trying to get across, it didn't make sense for me to be associated with Plarium so directly. So it seemed like the best thing to do.
And that message you were trying to get across was basically they need to do better. Is that like high level?
Yeah, they just need to, like, I don't know. I feel like the way that they treat their players is almost like it's so inhuman. I get that they're a corporation and we're numbers in a game, and I don't expect them to be ridiculous about it, but it just felt very deliberate almost. Sometimes what they do feels so deliberately insulting, and I just have such a problem with it sometimes. So it just made sense for me to disconnect.
I want to delve in a little bit to some of the issues that you see right now and maybe some of the solutions that you might have or thoughts that you might have. But I have to ask, did you regret how do you feel about the creator pack stuff? And like, you know, I feel like every 2 years it's like, what, creators get legendary skull tomes? And it becomes a big talking point. We all make our videos and then we react to the videos, and then you have comedy reactions, which are great. But how do you, was it tough to give those up? Do you have any thoughts on that? Was that even a challenge? Was that a consideration for you?
No, because again, I hadn't played that account in probably 8 months. Like I wasn't even logging into it.
Oh,
so they were
okay.
just kind of going to waste anyway. Maybe if I was taking them on an active account, I don't know. I think probably I still would have, it would have been pretty easy. Yeah, I don't think it would have been a big deal either way, to be honest.
You had a video reacting to Papa Drock, my man, doing the no dime January. And I joined him on his thing, and you've done that several times. Talk to me about, you know, summarize for me when creators or community members say, you know what, I've had enough with some of these decisions, like the Hydra one most recently. Everybody upset about that, felt like they weren't heard. And then when they did make their voices heard, that nothing was done to mitigate that, you know? I think that's part of for me, that's probably the biggest issue is like, okay, they're going to make mistakes, but then they never really say, okay, we made a mistake. Let's change things, you know? Anyway, so the no spending thing, right? You've tried that many times. Why do you think it's a good idea, or do you think it's a good idea? And reading between the lines on that video, and I'll link it for folks to check out on your channel too, reading between the lines, it almost seemed like you were just like, dude, guys, like, not too little too late or anything like that, but like you've tried it, and I don't know, like the community has to be together, and it felt like listening to you that you were kind of disappointed that the community hasn't stuck together, even though we complain. You know, I don't want to speak for you, but just feel free to take that anywhere you want.
Yeah, I would say, to sum it up in the most efficient way, I guess, is that Plarium is not going to hear us. I think we're going to have to make them feel it, because they clearly have. They've made it very clear they don't care what we say. We give them feedback through videos, through forum posts, through content creator chat feedback. I don't really recall them ever being like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, we should rethink this. It's always just like, we're going to do what we're going to do. So I don't think they care so much about what we say, but if we make them feel how we feel, then, and again, I don't know if that's true either. It's hard to say, but I kind of feel like if I feel this adamantly about the things that I think are problematic with the way that they behave, saying it isn't enough. So I have to try to do something. And the most obvious, I feel like the lowest hanging fruit there is everybody just stop spending money for a little bit and see how they react to it, see how they feel about it. Now, the more aggressive approach, perhaps stop playing the game. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't want to do that, because I think in spite of themselves, they've made a pretty fun game, which leads to a more interesting conversation, I guess. But yeah, I think I kind of hit a point where it was like, it seems like it's fun to rant, and I agree, but beyond that, it didn't really seem like enough people were that interested in doing anything. So I kind of hit a point where I was like, okay, well then I guess I'm just gonna settle in and keep doing what we're doing, and not care so much about what Plarium's doing, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I agree with a lot of what you said. I think that from my perspective, they have made like, so since you've left the community program, the creator program rather, they have met with us a few times and taken our feedback and really given, you know, some tough answers like, yeah, we're not able to do that. You know, sometimes they say, yeah, we'll try look into making that happen. And sometimes they say, yeah, probably not. Like, but you know, and there's been a few little things like the market rework and stuff like that we or the like some of the little small stuff they have gone in and done to their credit. So like I wanted to, since you weren't part of the community program, I did want to be honest there. But the big pain points, the things we've heard about for years, the minnow levels, the scrolls or rather the skill tomes. I can't think today for whatever reason, but skill tomes and like the availability of resources, the dungeon divers event not including all the dungeons. Like I can go on and on and on, but like those are the things that just feel like economic, really. You know, like. Like, hey, why won't they add minnow levels? Because they want us to spend the gems, you know, like. So I feel like, yeah, they've done better than they did back in the day, but I feel like the almighty dollar needs to also speak. But my fear is that if we stop spending, let's just say we could be effective in stopping to spend. My fear has always been, well, won't they just turn the ratchet up and be like, all right, let's milk this thing for every penny that it's worth of the, you know, and like just even make it worse potentially, you know, from a I guess from a purely capitalistic standpoint. So and also the number one feedback you'll get on a spending pause or whatever ban is going to be like, you're not going to make a difference. They're still going to get and I see it in the comments too. Like I never take offense to anything like this, but you see people being like, I'm with you, Ash. I'm not going to spend. I'm with you, Jgigs. And you'll see some comments like below them and like, I'll spend double for you, you know? And it's like,
yeah.
And it's like, it does speak to the overall point that like, yeah, sure. We do have a platform here and we do have we can have an impact. But is it really effective? Do they really care? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say, but I one of the points I think I made recently was like, at least we'll know if we're able to do anything then.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I feel like we could find some peace in that. And back to what you were saying about the content creator program and giving feedback, and they've kind of been a little bit more involved, and sometimes the answer is no. That's fine. I think that's great. I think that's healthy. I don't think you can take every little bit of feedback. And even more so than things like Minotaur, some of my bigger problems are like the Black Friday packs being the same price they always are. I've got a folder on my computer of Black Friday packs and the same pack without the Black Friday sticker, and they're the same price for the same thing. And it's like, that's the type of stuff that really gets under my skin.
It's the shady stuff. Yeah.
It's the shade, like, because you don't have to be that way. You're only being that way because you just want to be that way. What's the reason for it? So that's the type of stuff they do that really, really bothers me more than the like quality of life. That stuff bothers me a lot too. But it's the intentionally, seemingly deliberately shady for no reason type stuff that I really don't like.
Do you think the change? I mean, I'm asking a question that I've seen some speculation, but do you think the change in ownership is indicative of anything? Have you looked into it? Do you have any thoughts on the matter?
I've looked into it a little bit. It's hard to get a lot of information on it. I don't really know. In theory, it seems like it should change because it's not on one hand, it's not an online casino company.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's still a big company that wants to make money. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe their methods of making money will be a little bit less offensive.
Yeah,
I guess
or more,
tell,
maybe more long-term focus. It feels like to me, it feels like they're very focused on the short term in terms of capitalizing all immediate short-term gains rather in Plarium. Whereas if they had a little bit more of a long-term focus, I think it could yield great results.
Yeah.
Fiscally for Plarium, right? If they just took care of the
So I was gonna say, I joked that maybe I'll owe Plarium an apology by the end of this. Maybe we'll find out Plarium hasn't been the bad guy this whole time.
Right? I mean, that would be the best case scenario, wouldn't it? Also, I should say that after my little spending ban or whatever video that I was joining Drock, they did reach out to me for like to have a conversation about the video. I haven't had the conversation yet, but I do want to give them credit for not like ignoring, like all my other rant videos, right? So we'll see. I mean, TBD, obviously. Yeah.
You you talk about taking any money away? And they're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, they're like, oh, let's get on with Ash. Let's have a little chat with him, right?
Let's talk about this. Let's be reasonable.
So that is a little bit more ammo for, hey, maybe it is a little bit more effective. What do you think about do you think, let me ask this the most aggressive way possible. Do you think I am hypocritical for making critical videos about the game and yet spending on the game as well?
Don't be hard on yourself.
I don't think that.
Okay.
I see that comment quite a bit, and I think you are experiencing the game the way you want to experience the game. If you have problems with the game and still spend money, I don't care. I don't feel like that's hypocritical, especially as a content creator. I feel like there's a little bit more nuance to being a content creator. I think that there perhaps is something to be said about the frequency with which, like, we just rant. And I think that's why I hit a point where I felt like I haven't ranted as much lately. I talked about like the Decay event kind of shifting my perspective, and it was like, oh, everybody just wants to rant. We don't want to do. So I don't think it's hypocritical, but I think at a certain point, if you genuinely have a problem, and it's not just like this will be a good video, I think that at a certain point we should be looking to do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a spending strike, but I think we've learned at this point words aren't going to be enough, so some sort of action has to take place. But I don't think it's as simple to just say like, well, you're a hypocrite because you sometimes have a complaint about the game, but still spend money. I don't think it's as simple as that, and I don't necessarily think that's a fair.
But you're absolutely right too. So I'm biased, but I agree with you, right? Because like I've never claimed to, be against strikes or also to like, I've never said, oh, shards are a ripoff and then made a shard video, my problems have not tied directly into this game being monetized. I mean, we're playing Raid Shadow Legends. Right. I respect the hell out of free-to-play players. It's insane what they do. But frankly, I'm unable to, just being transparent, it sounds like a cop-out, but I'm unable to find the time to actually make the content I want to make.
Yeah.
And I do push it to the limits because I don't have to do massive shard openings. I don't have to do them as frequent. So I'm not blameless in that extent, but I do feel like I play the game in the way that suits my lifestyle and my time as well, and the content, right? So, I don't have a problem, but I am guilty. And I'm curious if you also have ever felt this way, but I have been guilty of making an easy rant video before. And I catch myself, and it's something like similar to you that I just don't want to do, because you hear it from the community. You see the pain, you see the comments every day. Like, you can make a video that you're super proud of and you put it out there and you're like, people are going to love this one. And then like, there's a pain point you didn't even recognize that people would be experiencing. It could be unrelated. It could be related to the video. And you see that and you almost feel like I need to make a video just like talking about all this stuff because people aren't happy and I want people to be happy, and also full transparency, it becomes intoxicating as a creator. And this is the same in any game or any genre of content at all, but negativity sells and it becomes intoxicating because whenever you hate on the game, you get almost unanimous praise. And whenever you say positive things about the game, you get almost unanimous hate. So it really becomes this thing where you get the attaboys when you're doing the easy thing and you're complaining. When you do the hard thing and you say, I like this, you just get the hate, and people have it almost reverse. So anyway, I say all that to say that it can get kind of intoxicating, making they're very easy to turn on I gotta think of a raid video. I gotta think of 10 best builds with Alice the Wanderer, and I gotta go spend 3 hours and you're putting out content every day. It becomes easy to be like, you know what? I'll just complain about some things. I'll be done in half an hour and it'll be great and people will love me for it. So I haven't like consciously thought that, but looking back, you can tell that it's easy and people like it, So you touched a little bit on that too. Did you feel the same way back when you were making more rant videos, or how do you feel about that?
I definitely noticed what you're talking about. It's if you say something negative, people are going to love it. And if you praise it, then there's a lot of interesting comments that come with saying good things about the game. So I was always very conscious. Rant videos historically have been some of the hardest for me to upload every time, as weird as that sounds from someone who has made plenty of them. But every time I make one, as I was uploading, I was thinking like, am I making a good point? Does it need to be said? Like, am I just doing the easy thing?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I think I overthink way more than the stuff that I really put a lot of energy into, the DJ RNG tracks and some of the more involved stuff. I'm happy to just throw up generally. It's the rant videos that I tend to overthink.
Well, that speaks to your character, man, honestly, because it can be, like I said, it just like, I wish I could say the same, but sometimes like on one of my more recent ones, I think that was actually the spending strike video, the reacting to rocks. Like I kind of watched it back and I'm like, you know what? I stand by everything I said in the video, but I really didn't, I was lazy about it, I complained a little bit. I said I wasn't going to spend, but like, you need to think of solutions too, as a creator. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of an onus to like be a little bit more articulate with here's the problems and here's how they can be addressed. Otherwise you're repeating the same thing over and over again, but anyway, I mean, we can go back and forth for a while, but it's interesting that you still cover the game, right? So you quit the creator program, but you're still playing the game and covering it. So why are you still playing the game that you disagree with so much that caused you to leave, the creator ecosystem or whatever, the program, whatever?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of layers to this. I do still like the game a lot in spite of the problems that I have with Plarium.
Yeah.
It has definitely cemented itself into my routine. I get up every morning, I make a cup of coffee, we do a Free to Succeed, and it's just a nice way to kick the day off. And sometimes I think like for whatever reason, there's a few thousand people that really get a kick out of that every day. I'm not generally doing anything very interesting. It's just very laid back, podcasty. We just chat. Sometimes I don't talk about Raid for the entire video. So I don't know. There's a lot of people that, when I've alluded to maybe not doing Free to Succeed anymore, there's a lot of people that really don't like that idea. So as far as like that type of content, it's just kind of until I quit completely, I think that's going to be there. And then I'll do skits when I feel like I kind of want to do them. And I'll do discussion videos when I feel like there's an interesting discussion to be had, or like if there's something interesting to react to, because people seem to really enjoy it when we get the reaction trains going. But yeah, for all of their shortcomings, they've made a game that I do really enjoy playing.
It's a great game, man. Like
it is.
I mean, I say it all the time too, is
for what it is, it's a great game.
It is. It's a predatory game that is just ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, it's weird because like there's a taboo around like crypto gaming and stuff, but like at least you retain your value, Like,
now that really was a job well done.
And this, you're just giving them a lot of money, basically. But that all being said, it's an awesome game, and I love it. I love this game, and I'm not afraid to say it, and hopefully the viewers do too. I mean, you're half an hour into a Raid Shadow Legends video. What are you doing if you don't, But it's really, I think it's really fun. It fits a lot of lifestyles for a little bit older people. Not to say that everybody's old who plays the game, but like you can play it at your leisure, and you can play it so many different ways. So I think that it's the best in the genre by far. Like I love King Arthur. You're playing that too, right? Mm-hmm. But I still love, I'll never give up Raid. I'm a sucker, man. Obviously, so I hear you. Yeah. Do you regret, have you ever regretted even one day leaving the creator program?
No.
Okay. Would you ever join back?
Yeah.
What would you like to see from Plarium for you to consider joining back?
I just really want to stop seeing shady things. I don't have to agree with everything they do with the game, and that's never really what it's been about. If they don't want to change Minotaur, that'll drive me insane, but fine. That's not where I have like a core problem. I just want to stop seeing shady stuff. I want to stop seeing them strong arm people into buying shards and lying about Black Friday prices and other specials and these flash
The
packs that
lightning
aren't
deals and all
special
that. Yeah.
value. It's like, just stop trying to be slick. If you will just be honest with that with the monetary stuff, I have so much more patience for stuff in game that needs doing than I do you clearly just being a snake. I can't get behind that. So if they chill out on that and wanted me back for whatever reason they wanted me back, yeah, we could. I'd certainly be willing to get back in.
Do you think that more creators should quit the creator program? I know you're the type of guy that would never say anybody should do anything, right? But do you think it's as an effective method? Do you think I should consider quitting the creator program? It's weird because I get the legendary skill tomes. I'm not a news guy. I've learned that the hard way in the Alice in Wanderer, man. Like, dude, I'm trying to like keep up with the news and keep up with the Hades and the Nub Raids and all those guys. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like I can't. I'm just going to go back to chilling and editing and covering this stuff a little bit later, but still covering it. But, and then I get the resources, which are tremendous. So we get gems, we get legendary skill tomes every week.
How do I apply?
But I'm such a dirty pay to win that it's just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, like it's just add it to the list. I mean,
Right.
If they were giving me like 10 mythicals or something, maybe I'd consider. But so now it's just like, I'm kind of this. The only reason that I stay, honestly, is the people, like Banana Jam, like the actual, like, I don't want to like,
she's so cool.
I don't want them to think that like they did anything wrong. And I'm not looking to like not saying you were being dramatic. And I think you deserve so much credit for foregoing all the rewards and leaving. But I just don't want to like, I don't know. I just don't want to reflect negatively in any way on like the work that the people that do care quite a lot do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I don't think, I mean, of course, I'm going to say I don't think it's for me to say anybody should move.
Yeah.
But also, no, I don't think so. I think that's up to each individual and how they feel about the situation and not in like a sneaky, like I'm judging you if you don't kind of way. Like genuinely, if you don't feel the way that I feel about the other things, that's fine. Everybody's got their own reasons to feel the way that they feel about everything. I think there's a lot of benefits to being in the program. I think it's still the best program I've seen in all my years of doing this. I've been in a lot of content creator programs. It's leagues above all the other ones I've been in. And I don't think everybody that's in it is like getting dirty money or I don't think it's that deep for me. It was just for me and what I was trying to say. It felt weird for me to make a video talking about the like fundamental problems that I have with the character of the company and then logging in Friday and collecting my rewards. You know what I mean? It'd be different if I was like, man, we really need stage 20 Minotaur. Okay. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like my problems aren't, I have problems with the game, but those aren't the problems that I have.
That's not that led you to leave the creator program. It's the game problems.
It's the character of the company that led to that. I'd stay in the content creator and nag them every day about Minotaur. But, I'm only going to tell them once.
So far, we've been ineffective. The technology isn't there. But you know what? I think that's a perfect like kind of end cap. Unless you have any other points, because it's like, I agree, man. Like, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your ass here on the channel, but like, props to you, because not many people just in life do that, like feel a certain way and then just make a change that aligns with how they're feeling specifically about the in this case the ethics of a company that they work with. So you deserve, I'm sure you'll hear it in the comments or whatever, but you deserve a massive round of applause for like really putting your money where your mouth is and just making a change, and you weren't trying to change the world by leaving the creator program. You were only putting yourself at a disadvantage, like it's not like but it was just like purely an ethical decision, it sounds like. And massive props to you. What do we have on a happier note here? What are you excited about in the game, like moving forward in terms of your channel? Like, what type of content should we expect from Jgigs?
I'm gonna try to get back to doing more of the comedy skits and stuff. I think.
Awesome.
I don't know that my in-game stuff is gonna change much. I've let go of being the guide guy or the news guy. So if I feel like I have something interesting for a guide, I'll throw it together. But I'm going to try to get back to doing more of the comedy skits and music and have a little bit more fun this year. We were a little a little stagnant last year, so we're gonna see if we can't have a little more fun this year.
Awesome, man. Well, the cool thing is like, to my knowledge, there's only one channel out there doing raid and comedy and fun, like, on a daily basis. And you're looking at them, guys, right there. So go ahead and subscribe to Jgigs' channel. Jgigs, this has been a great first collab. We've really delved into your past and learned a lot, and a lot of respect for you and what you're doing over there. And let's not make it our last. I don't want to go another 5 or 6 years. So thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, dude. It's long overdue. And I want to say to you also, I've been a big fan for years. I've been so impressed with you. I tell so many people that I talk to about you, I don't know how you do all of the things that you do. Yeah, I feel like you have to have some clones, but I've been very impressed with you.
You just try to do it
several years
at a very low level, and you can do a lot when you aim very low, you know. But I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. And guys, that's the perfect spot to end the video. Go ahead and check out some comedy skits on Jgigs' channel. Again, it'll be linked in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. Thanks for watching till the end, and as always, take care, guys.